things of that nature, and so we're not going to just procrastinate and just throw away time. And how we're going, our format, like I mentioned earlier, it'll be 2 chairs. The questionnaire or interviewer and the candidate will be on the other side. And we'll we have a list of questions, and we'll give each person 12 minutes to answer the questions, and we'll give them 12 minutes to answer the questions. I'm sorry, I have personality. What do you want? Okay. And so then, but we have also four interviewers. It'll be myself, will be one interviewer. We have Miss Natalie Devadish, will be another interviewer. We also have Bishop William Green will be another interviewer. And of course, we have one of our own, Brother John McQueen from the community, who will be an interviewer. Amen. So I'm going to invite up a young lady who I'm going to interview, who's going to be a Democratic candidate who's running for Commissioner at Large, and her name is Miss Kim O Brien. Amen. Let's give her some encouragement. And we're not here to hurt. We are here to help and to explore and just to get to know you. That's right, bring that water. Yeah, you go, very good. Would you please help young lady up, sir? Please, that's what men do in Atlantic City. That's what we do in Atlantic City. There you go, all right. Okay, and would you please, happy to meet you, please sit over here, and this is your microphone. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have some questions. I'm sorry? Oh, okay. Tell Kamala, call back later on, you're busy, okay? Okay.
Guys, please talk into the microphones for the radio.
Yes, sir. Talking to the microphone for the radio.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I haven't started talking yet. All right. So, some questions we have for you this evening. Tell us about yourself. Who is Miss Kim O Brien?
Okay. So I grew up in North Wildwood in Cape May County. I grew up with a single mom who raised 3 of us by herself. We were very poor. We were on and off welfare. We often didn't have a car. So that was my experience as a youth. I worked hard in school. I graduated 3rd in my class. I studied English and Spanish at Johns Hopkins University. After that, I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Russia. So I lived in a Russian village and taught English. I fell in love with teaching, so then I went off to come home and go to New York and get my master's degree from Columbia University while I taught in the inner city in the daytime. I taught in the Bronx. And then I got married and moved back down to the area. I've been living in Atlantic County for 22 years. I've been married for 24 years, and I have 2 daughters, 20 and 22. And they're amazing. One just graduated college and one is in college.
Amen. Is there a particular issue that motivates you to serve in county government?
I think what motivates me most is as a teacher, I've been able to connect families to resources, support families, and connect them with resources and just really give them the kind of help that people gave me along the way, the kind of help that helped me get out of poverty. So just the opportunity to serve people and help them with overall resources. And there are a number of issues that they need help with. Transportation in the county can be a challenge. When I look through what our families are going through, just to get vaccines for their kids, it's too complicated. There are things we need to make it easier for families, especially with children.
What particular skills or experiences prepare you to serve as in county government?
I got my start as a young person in the Peace Corps, living in another culture and understanding what it's like to be an immigrant. And Atlantic County is very diverse. We have a lot of different cultures here. This is my 29th year of teaching, and as an ESL and Spanish teacher, I work with many, many different cultures. And so I think understanding different people, have different ways of looking at the world, different approaches, different languages, and knowing how to work with them. Would really benefit me in public service in Atlantic County. That's certainly one thing. And then as a teacher, we deal with conflict all day long. And there's a way to do it right, and there's a way to do it wrong. And so we try to meet people where we are, try to find common ground, try to be problem solvers together, whether it's with the kids with each other, us with parents, us with our administration, us with the community. We just try to keep it, what can we focus on, what can we accomplish together? And so that would be, you know, those are some skills that I think would be beneficial.
Thank you. What makes you different from the other county candidates?
I mean, I think having some service abroad, you know, really shaped me, you know, as a young person, and just having a different outlook on life, having some diplomatic experience, you know, just supporting families all of these years, and also just being able to speak Spanish. I mean, you know, we have a large Hispanic population in Atlantic County. I still have some Russian skills as well, but just having language skills, be able to speak to people and, you know, make them comfortable to tell you, you know, what they need so that you can, again, problem solve with them.
Amen. What do you see as the major issue facing county government today?
Well, we have a landfill that's affecting a lot of communities right now. You know, eventually we're going to need a new place for it, and so, you know, I think, you know, maybe that's something we should have been looking at, you know, before now, with a long-term plan. So that's one issue that's pressing. But another overall issue is just jobs. I mean, we need well-paying union jobs that provide health care. Because I see my students and I think when they leave me, like, what am I preparing them for? One of my students is driving the school bus now. And he was all excited first day of school when he saw me, and I was all excited for him. And he's doing a great job, and that's not an easy job. You need someone really kind and patient, but, you know, strong, and, you know, someone to keep the kids safe. But I wonder, like, does he have benefits? Like, is he gonna be okay? Like, does he make enough money to live? Because it's expensive to live in Atlantic County now. So I really want to see us get jobs. When I think of economic development, to me, that doesn't mean companies come in, make a lot of money, or they're shareholders. That means we have union, middle class affording jobs. So, yeah.
Are you familiar with the county budget?
Yes.
Okay, so regarding the county budget, where would you look to make budget cuts? In what area would you consider not cutting?
So that's a great question, because you know, the commission over the years has tried to keep county taxes low, and everyone wants taxes to be low. So you always have to weigh out, like, okay, well, what are we getting out of that, and would it be worth it to spend a little more in certain areas? One thing that I've been talking about that I have experience as a green team leader in my school is we can invest in our infrastructure with free training from the state on upgrading and making our infrastructure more efficient, which could save money. So it could be greener, and in this way we could save money. So for example, you know, just the buildings themselves, the lighting, you know, the water fixtures, you know, all of these things with a free energy audit from the state will come in and can help, you know, coach us. Every town can have a green team, every school can have a green team. They're very successful. So that, I like that program, because if you want to come in with an idea on where you might want to spend money, you also want to come in with an idea where could we save money. So that's the first part, like that's where we could save some money. And then where could we spend some money? Well, again, you know, making things a little easier for families, whether it's transportation to get to the resources that they need, which can vary, or, you know, looking at things like vaccines. We used to have a mobile dentist in the school that would seal the kids' teeth. We don't have that anymore, and we're seeing more emergency dental visits that the kids need, and it's painful. So I want to see, you know, kids not go through, you know, unnecessary hardships if we can provide better resources for them.
Okay, thank you. Atlantic County has many residents who rent, and rent increases over and over again, and many people remain vulnerable to housing insecurity. So what measure would you take at the county level to protect renters?
So renters have definitely expressed a lot of hardship as they've gone knocking on doors, not just on their rent, but even on their water bills spiking and electricity. And we need, you know, the workers to be able to be in the area to, you know, do all, you know, our tourism and all the things that we need to do locally. There are other towns that have models. You know, for example, there was one town that converted a shopping mall into additional housing. I mean, I think we need to be creative and not reinvent the wheel, but just look at what successful towns are doing to help alleviate, you know, this problem with renters. And it's really skyrocketed. I've never seen so many people posting on Facebook looking for a rental. And you know, we also have a lot of people buying up homes here for second homes. So could there be some incentive, you know, for people, you know, who want to stay and live here year round, and you know, make that easier for them?
How would a county commissioner best communicate with her constituents?
Well, to be honest, I don't think the building is very welcoming. I think that's something that we could maybe look at some point. The area where you can get up and speak is very small. I think I heard recently they finally have a microphone for people to be heard. You know, our running mate Susan Lazarchik is disabled. She's an amputee, and she was supposed to give 2 weeks' notice just to go around and be able to access that building and have to walk around the back. So making the building accessible, but then also having like town halls. Atlantic County is a big place, and so running at large, I've been driving and knocking all over Atlantic County. And there's no reason why you can't, you know, go to the common area of an apartment building, or you can't go, you know, to different public places and offer to meet people, because, you know, they're not necessarily able to come to the Atlantic County Commissioners meeting. So I think having town halls would be a great thing to do.
To our friends gathered here with us in the audience, what would you say is the primary work of county government?
The county government serves the people. So we need to keep people safe. We want them to be healthy. We want them to be thriving. So we need our infrastructure to work. You know, we need our roads to be drivable and not flooded all the time so people can get to work. We need, you know, things to be clean and the air and you know, all of our infrastructure to be safe. There's a dam at Mays Landing that's, you know, fallen to ill repair, and now FEMA has to step in and fix it. So, you know, with a long-term plan, these are things we have to look out for. We have to make sure it's safe for our residents. So primarily, we are servants of the people. That's the way I would look at it.
Okay, Mr. Bryan, you have I think 8 seconds left. What is your last statement? Look right into my eyes and say it.
I genuinely believe in public service. There were people who helped me along the way when I was poor. I can't repay them, but I can pay it forward. And I would love very much the honor to do that.
Well, thank you. I think that concludes your time. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for giving us some of yourself, your heart, your dreams, your goals, and thank you for coming tonight. Let's give a round of applause, please.